In this video, we'll show you how to test your manifold absolute pressure sensor with a multimeter. Let's get to it. The MAP sensor, or manifold absolute pressure sensor, measures the manifold pressure or engine vacuum, which the ECU uses to calculate how much air is entering the engine. Some symptoms of a bad MAP sensor are a rough idle, hesitation, poor fuel economy, engine stalling, a lack of power, and hard starting, especially when the engine is warm. The first step is to locate the manifold absolute pressure sensor. The MAP sensor is located on or near the throttle body of your car and looks like this. The MAP sensor has 3 wires, a supply wire delivering 5 volts, a ground wire, and a signal wire giving info back to the computer. We need to safely figure out what the signal wire is, because that's the one we need for testing. Make sure the ignition is off and use paper clips or needles or something similar to back probe the wires. You want to press it in all the way so you make good contact. And make sure the back probes aren't touching each other. Grab your multimeter and put it in the continuity setting, which is indicated by this symbol. Then connect the black lead to an exposed metal mass on your car to ground it, or connect it to the negative battery terminal. We're using this ground strap to get a good ground connection. Next, use the red test lead to check for continuity. First, touch an exposed metal part to test if you have a good ground. Once you know it works, you can start testing the MAP sensor wires. The first one doesn't give continuity. It's a red wire, so it's probably the power supply. We get the same negative result testing the middle wire. That means that the third wire is the ground, which checks out with the continuity test. You can also verify this in your wiring diagram, but it's just as easy to test it with a multimeter. Next, turn the dial on your multimeter to DC volts, which is indicated by the straight and dotted line. Ours is an automatic multimeter, but if you have a manual multimeter, you want to select the 20 volt setting. Then turn the ignition on, but don't start the engine yet. Now test the wires again. This one gives 5 volts, which means that it's the supply wire. The other wire reads 4.7 volts, which is normal for the signal wire and corresponds with full atmospheric pressure or zero vacuum. When starting the engine, which will create vacuum, the voltage should drop to 1 to 2 volts. But before you do, make sure everything is clear of the moving belt and pulleys, and keep your hands away from them while testing. With the multimeter still connected, you can now start the engine. You should see the voltage drop to between 1 and 2 volts. If the voltage doesn't change when starting the engine, the sensor is broken or you have a vacuum leak. Then slowly increase the RPM. The voltage should stay about the same. However, if you quickly rev the engine, it should briefly jump up, followed by an even lower voltage, and then stabilize again. That's because the MAP sensor output does the opposite of the vacuum pressure. We'll show you with the vacuum gauge. When slowly increasing the RPM, the vacuum and the MAP sensor output stay about the same. But if you quickly rev the engine, vacuum drops to 0 and the MAP output jumps up. Then vacuum quickly increases again and overshoots the normal value in the green section, which corresponds with the lower than normal MAP output below 1 volt. But afterwards, both quickly stabilize again. If your MAP sensor doesn't behave like this, something's wrong. The most common issue is a cracked vacuum hose, not the sensor itself, so make sure to check that first before you replace the sensor. But we'll show you how to detect vacuum leaks in a separate video, so make sure to check it out. And finally, another quick test you can perform is to unplug the sensor and reconnect it while the engine is running. When unplugging it, the computer will revert to pre-programmed values, so you can still drive, but with worsened performance and fuel consumption. However, when reconnecting a working MAP sensor, the computer will suddenly receive live data and switch its mixture, causing it to stumble shortly, which tells you the computer is receiving data. Now you know how to test a MAP sensor. That's all there is to it. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. We've got a lot of new stuff coming up, so stay tuned.